Welcome to this week's screencast. This is the first time I'm doing it, so I'm just going to get right into it. I've put together a PowerPoint slide, so I'm just going to pull that up and let's go. This week, the topic was personal devices. My name is Amanda Waller, for those of you who haven't viewed my page yet or just always like to introduce myself. Right here, I decided to throw in a picture of these two young children on laptops because I thought it was funny and kind of strange because you don't really see young kids on laptops nowadays. They're mostly on iPads. So tools that enhance learning. What tools enhance learning in the classroom? Whether it be personal devices, technology, anything like that. I have a few items listed below. So iPads, laptops, and cell phones. I put iPads as my first bullet because iPads are more commonly used in classrooms nowadays, especially for those learners who are very hands-on and visual. Laptops also is a great tool for children in the upper grades who are typing and just learning how to search the internet and do research papers. It's a really good tool to have. Another great tool that enhances learning is cell phones. These cell phones not only help students communicate with each other, but it's a great tool for the parents to stay connected with their children. I listed that children with autism spectrum disorder should learn how to use these devices as any other child would. Cell phones are increasingly becoming a way of life. The reason why I put that is because my future career is teaching, but I specifically would like to teach children with autism, preferably in around ages 3 to 4. So cell phones were a little tricky, as well as the laptops for me, because my target classroom isn't going to be a younger grade, although I do want to get certified up until 5th grade, so I do have to kind of have a background of everything. Moving on, we are going to talk about mobile learning and what impact it has on the learners. So when it comes to personal devices, like iPads and cell phones and laptops, these devices can be taken with us as we go into a grocery store, a park, a family member's house, a library. We can grab these devices and bring them with us. I found a blurb from an article that I thought was really interesting, and it says, this idea of mobile learning have assists me as a future teacher, as stated in Lynch's article. Mobile devices as teaching tools are becoming more and more common, a part of the American education experience in classrooms from preschool through graduate school. Now, if it wasn't for education, I don't know about you, but college would be a lot more difficult than it already is. I mean, having a computer and having the access to the internet at my fingertips really makes things a lot less stressful. So mobile learning is an excellent tool because especially with children with disabilities, they're able to take their tablet and bring them with them, especially if they use these tablets as a form of communication, which is something I will get into briefly. So what do personal devices teach our children? What are the benefits? So personal devices is a great tool to have in the classroom, and it's becoming more and more common that we see these devices, especially in the younger grades. Now, what are the benefits? I have a few listed in front of the screen right here. I have individualized instructions and learning. Learning can be seen as fun, collaborative, and interactive, and last but not least, participation. When I was observing in a classroom last year of 3-year-old autistic children, they did have a lot of issues with staying focused, but once the teacher announced that we were going to be going into the computer lab at the end of the day, that was almost like a carrot and dangling in front of them as almost like a reward, like let me get my work done and let me stay on topic so I can get into that computer lab. So children with autism use these devices also to communicate, especially if they're nonverbal. So personal devices are used greatly in all school systems, and I think that there are just endless benefits. Those are just a few I thought were like the main, but I really think that especially children with autism, technology is just being used in so many great ways nowadays. So the final learning outcomes. This is what I was trying to get into before. So picture exchange communication system is a great system for children who are nonverbal and that need help communicating their wants and needs. Right here I have a picture of what PEX looks like on an iPad. PEX can also be in a notebook. So back in the day, my brother, who is autistic, did have a little notebook with Velcro. So what he would do is he would go into his notebook and he would take the picture and he would put it on the top of the notebook so the teacher would know that he would what he wanted, if he had to go to the bathroom, if he was hungry. But now iPads are so high tech that there's applications that are so updated that you can search anything you want and upload it to your child's iPad so they have easy access to them. Which is awesome. So this application helps children with autism to develop certain skills that assist them with communication. So I think that's excellent. So now, how accessible can these personal devices be for students? One of the articles that was listed in the lesson this week, I was able to find this chart that had a graph of the different devices that these children own. So right here, as an example, it says smartphone, tablet, and ebook. So this is device ownership. Right here is smartphone ownership, and right here is tablet and ebook. So these are just a brief, just a kind of statistic of how many students own certain forms of personal devices that they can use. Now, I'm going to, this is my reference page right here. It was the article, Students' Mobile Learning Practices in Higher Education. I found this article to be very useful in kind of guiding me in the right direction of what I wanted to put in my presentation. Now, when it comes to the sample artifact, I found a video, which I do have it linked in my website, that I just wanted to skim through it with you guys super quick. I'm just going to...
Educational consultants, the developers of the evidence-based and world-renowned picture exchange communication system,
at the application store
comes the
on the
PEX4
iPad.
Plus app for iPads. Hi, I'm Lori Frost.
I'm just going to skim
PEX4
through.
Plus.
So I'm going to pause this. If you can briefly see, these are it's just an example of what PEX is. So if you see the pictures right over here can kind of be moved around to create almost a sentence strip on the bottom. And then when you press this button right here, it says what you've created. So the students who are nonverbal have an easy way to communicate. And up here you can search anything you want. Parents can also help their children kind of upload these pictures. And I'm going to have this referenced in my website so you can take a better look. But this is definitely a great tool that I found for students who need to use picture exchange communication system. So that is that. I am going to exit this out. I hope you guys were able to find my video to be of use for you, and I hope that I was able to explain everything clearly. Thank you.